My daughter got kicked out of class for threatening a teacher. She's deaf. The moment I adopted my daughter from China, I knew the world wouldn't always understand her. She was born deaf, abandoned at an orphanage, and spent her first 4 years in complete silence before I brought her home. She communicates through American Sign Language, and honestly, she's the most expressive person I've ever met. Her hands move like poetry. Her face tells stories her voice never could, but not everyone sees it that way. To some people, she's just the quiet girl who moves her hands weird. We'd practiced for months before her first day at public school. I taught her signs for bathroom, help, and my favorite, I'm okay, Dad. She was nervous but excited. The school had promised an interpreter for her classes. They said they understood her needs. They said she'd be safe. I believed them. The first few weeks went better than I expected. Lily came home every day bursting with stories she'd signed so fast I could barely keep up. She made friends with a girl named Priya who was learning basic signs just to talk to her. She loved her art teacher who let her paint during lunch when the cafeteria got too overwhelming. I started to relax. Maybe I'd been overprotective. Maybe the world was kinder than I feared. Then I got the call. Your daughter has been removed from class, the secretary said flatly. She made a threatening gesture toward her teacher. We need you here immediately. She's facing a 3-day suspension, possibly expulsion. My heart stopped. Lily didn't have a violent bone in her body. She cried when we accidentally stepped on bugs. I broke every speed limit getting there. I found Lily sitting in the principal's office, tears streaming down her face, her hands folded in her lap like she was afraid to move them. The vice principal, a woman with pursed lips and crossed arms, didn't even let me hug my daughter before she started talking. Your daughter made a threatening hand gesture directly at Mrs. Kellerman during class, she said. Multiple students witnessed it. We have a zero-tolerance policy for threats of violence. I asked what gesture. The vice principal mimicked it poorly, her hand flat, fingers together, moving across her neck. The universal sign for, I'm going to cut your throat. I almost laughed. That's not a threat, I said. That's the ASL sign for don't understand. She was trying to tell the teacher she didn't understand something. The vice principal's face didn't change. That's convenient. How do we know that's true? I pulled out my phone and showed her 3 different ASL dictionaries, all confirming the same thing. The sign for don't understand involves a flat hand moving near the neck or forehead. It's one of the most basic signs in the language. The vice principal barely glanced at the screen. Well, regardless of what it means in sign language, it looked threatening to Mrs. Kellerman and the other students. Your daughter should have known better than to make gestures like that in a classroom setting. I felt my blood pressure spike. She's deaf, I said slowly. Sign language isn't optional for her. It's how she communicates. You're punishing her for literally speaking. The vice principal shrugged. Perhaps she needs a different educational environment if she can't communicate appropriately. That's when Mrs. Kellerman walked in, looking annoyed that she'd been pulled from her class. Before anyone could speak, a small voice came from the doorway. Actually, Lily wasn't threatening anyone. It was Priya, Lily's friend, followed by 3 other students. She was asking for help, Priya continued. Mrs. Kellerman was going too fast, and Lily's interpreter was late. She signed don't understand like 5 times, but Mrs. Kellerman ignored her. Then when Lily tapped her desk to get attention, Mrs. Kellerman yelled at her and called her disruptive. One of the boys spoke up. Lily's the nicest person in our class. She helped me with my art project even though we couldn't really talk. She's not violent. She's just deaf. The principal, who had been silent until now, finally looked at the vice principal with something like embarrassment. He turned to me and quietly asked if the school could arrange a meeting to discuss better accommodations. Mrs. Kellerman's face went red as she realized she'd almost gotten a disabled child expelled for asking a question. I looked at my daughter, still crying, but now surrounded by classmates who'd stormed an administrator's office to defend her. She didn't need words to find people who understood her.